Pips pay my bills. Pips pay my bills. Pips pay my bills.
So EJ said, why am I back testing the futures market? It makes no sense. So let's see. Let's go to is it NQ1? Let's just go to NAS 100. So he's saying that it makes no sense to back test this. Well, then don't you know that, like, I always use this reference. Don't you know NBA players, they watch film, right? NFL players, they watch film because they want to get better. Like, they're in the gym practicing and then they watch film. Well, this is like our film. This is how we get sharp. You know how long it would take for you to test whatever method of trading that you have if you had to do it in a live chart? Like look at this market right now. It's just sitting here. I want to test my strategy. It's 11:16 p.m. and I think what the market is closed, right? The market is open.
I think there's some stay open.
The market is open, right? And I want to test my strategy because at 11:17 p.m. this is the only time I got to try to learn how to do this while I'm working my 9-to-5 job, for an example. You know, there's people like that, right? But what is there to back test, right? What is there to do right now? Do you see, like, the market is not moving? So do you expect people to get good at a fast rate if they can't test something? You feel me? So you're trying to back test your methods to see, does your method, how often does your method of trading win, right? What you got to have rules. So when you're back testing, you need to have rules. And when you're back testing, you're going to go to a certain day. All right. You're going to start maybe in January. No, I would say go start in March. You're going to start in March, and then you're going to have your parameters that the market has to conform to. So watch this. So this is June, right? Let's go to March. Whatever way I'm trading, right? Give me a type of way that you want to trade. Like, let's say, for an example, you want to trade fair value gaps, you want to trade supply and demand zones, like whatever you want to trade, just that's what it is. All right. So for an example, let's just say I want to trade demand zones, supply and demand zones. This is the only demand zone I see. This is not a demand zone because that's consolidation. Okay. So that doesn't work. This is not a demand zone. That is consolidation. Okay. The only demand zone I see is right here. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark that up. Whatever strategy you're going to use, go ahead and use it and see, does it work? All right. Now, when you have this demand zone, because a demand zone has to be established. You cannot trade the demand zone right then and there. It has to be established. So now once I see this happens in a live market or back testing, whatever, now you can trade that demand zone. So now that the demand zone is established, I want to see in the future when the market come back to it, can I catch a buy? And so I'm back testing to see how often does the market respect the demand zones and the supply zones. See, I'm back testing with rules. This makes absolute sense. How else do you expect for me to get good at a fast rate? All right. So this makes absolute sense. See, maybe you watch people that back test with no rules. So you just randomly just looking at the market with no structure or nothing, you know what I mean? But I have a complete structure, and I have days and certain times that I'm back testing. I want to see the way that I trade work on certain days and at what times. I'm going to document that. I'm going to say, you know what? 80% of the time, NAS 100 respect demand zones. I'm going to mark that down in my journal. You feel me? Then I'm going to say 60% of the time, NAS 100 respect the golden zone. I'm like, okay, so whenever I see a golden zone, I'm not going to put too much stock into that. I'm not going to trust the golden zone as much because through a course of 6 months, I've seen that NAS 100 don't respect golden zones that much. That's just an example, by the way. But that's how I'm back testing. That makes absolute sense. Manipulation is fundamentals. Absolutely. So for an example, so I know a little, so ever since I've been reading that book, I've been learning some stuff, EJ. So check this out. Right when the war stuff was happening, I learned who the safe havens were. GBP, the pound, the UK, their banks and all of that system was not the safe haven. Gold, the Swiss franc, and the US dollar were the safe havens. So then if that's the case, then GBPUSD on a Forex chart will probably drop because the US dollar is going to be strengthened. And around that time, right when they was deciding to go bomb Iran, boom, it dropped. But I put the fundamentals with that. So we getting good with it. We coming. So I was really proud of myself for putting 2 and 2 together on that one. So that was a dope experience. So I was like, man, that wasn't too hard, because I have not been learning fundamentals all this time. I've been learning technicals, which I'm glad I did, because I made a lot of money doing it, and I still am. But I know that there's a lot more to know. There's a lot of room for me to grow. And so I was like, really, it kind of fueled me once I put 2 and 2 together with that. And then I saw the charts drop. Of course, they ain't dropped forever, but that during that time it dropped. It just fueled me and inspired me to keep going with the fundamentals. All right. So what I'm seeing this right here. You see this low point right here? So that low point is like an anchor for me. Like, that is like a foundational piece that I need going forward. All right. Because that happened on Friday when the market closed. All right. So now what happens when you have a low and then price shoots up and it doesn't blow past the low, right? So what, don't y'all know that? That's basic. That's basic not fundamentals, but basic technical analysis. All right. So if it don't blow past the low, then we're looking to go up. But the thing about me is I don't just buy it from here, because we all know during a live market, when it looking like it's down here and it look like it's holding, it could easily just shoot straight back down. So I need to see some levels getting broken to the upside for me to trust it. See, this is only one piece. This is only one piece. I want to see it respecting something. So this little dip right here is respecting something. It's respecting this low point here. So it's respecting that. That's only one piece to the puzzle. The next piece is now break something. I'm going to need to see it break either this level right here. It pretty much this structure level right here. You see how it goes back here? So I needed to break that. So, yep. So once that break, which it did right here on this green candle, now I'm waiting for a retest. Is this a lot of steps? Maybe to you, but not to a professional trader. I used to be like, man, that's too many steps. I'm waiting all day. But it's like, why? We used to be patient for this stuff. Now we're not. Now it got to happen when we need it to happen. No, it's going to happen when it wants to happen. I'm telling you the rules behind what to wait for, guys. So that green candle broke the structure. Now we got to wait for a retest. Don't just take it because it broke. If you take it up here, where's your stop loss? Your stop loss is going to be out of pocket. Like, it's not going to be, your stop loss is going to be way down here. Let me show you what that'll look like. If you take a long position like that, you take a long position, your stop loss got to be way down here. So then you're going to trick yourself in believing that it's going to go up here now because your stop loss is way down there. Now you're playing mental games with yourself. But if you wait for the retest, well, then your risk to reward is better. And I've been teaching the team, wait for the retest. It's worth it. It would be worth it. Now look at the situation if you wait for the retest, because we know where to get in at, because it broke the structure. So we know where to enter in at. And I want to say we probably going to enter in a little bit higher. We're going to enter in probably around here realistically. So we got a little bit of drawdown, and you always want to go 1-to-1. That's how I would play that. So did y'all see the whole process behind that? I didn't take too long explaining it, but I took you and I gave you straight rules. Price, it started out with price happened to respect something, and then you wanted to break something. Now you got the edge in your favor. Watch it break. Watch it break.
watch it break, watch it break, watch it break.